Doing today is I'm going to print with my gel plate, my 5x7, using simple household items that you can get in. This is plastic bags from the grocery store, netting from my oranges. I love my oranges. This I got at the dollar store. It's a little scrubber, wax paper. This is cardboard from packaging. I'm going to use a comb. I'm going to use foil. This is bubble wrapped, but all the bubbles are popped, and it was, well, not all of them, I guess, but the bubbles are popped, so it gives you a different effect. They're supposed to all be popped anyways. This one has half popped bubbles and half unpopped bubbles. And then I'm going to use some shelf liner. And all these things make interesting effects. I'm going to pull out maybe 3 stencils to work with. And that stack of household items. And I'm going to be printing on drawing paper I get from the dollar store. It's thicker than computer paper, but not by a lot. But it actually prints up pretty nicely. So we're going to pull some of this out of the pad. And this is what I'm going to use to print on. And I'm going to pull out maybe 3 stencils, 3 simple stencils to use, maybe just 3 large stencils. We'll use the circle one. These are big fat circles and I like that one. And we'll use the number one. This one's also pretty nice to use, and then we'll find one more that's totally different. Maybe this nice florally one. Alright, we're only going to use those 3 stencils, and like I said, the household items. Let me cut this paper in half. And this is just playing. I've had such a bad day, I managed to break my laser printer, so I needed some playtime. So that's why I'm doing this. Let's pull out some pinks and yellows and blues and oranges. Deep red. Some green. Maybe another blue. And maybe, pardon my reach, a nice off-white to start. And I haven't cleaned my brayer, so it's a mess, but we're not going to worry about that today because I've had a bad day. First, I couldn't get my videos to download. Then I broke my printer. Alright. Now, we're also going to use some, of course, some deli paper. I pull the whole box over here and just put it down where I can reach it. I doubt anything's going to come through those little holes, but hopefully when I pull it up it'll leave something nice. Well, that wasn't good. Oh, but it looks cool. Let's pull that up. See what kind of texture we get. Well, that's interesting. It's texture, not a lot. It's enough for now. Now let's put some bubbles over it. We'll use the bubble side that's actually working. There. Oh, that's nice. Let's pull that up. See how that looks for a background. Oh, and some of the purple from the other day is coming up. That's nice. I like that. We'll keep stacking them up and reusing them over there. Let's do some of our deep red. mixing, of course, with the off-white, making a, oh no, it's red in places, pink in other places. Let's go with the plastic wrap. I like what plastic wrap does. I'm gonna mush it up real good so it's got lots of texture. And I'm gonna put it down there with lots of wrinkles. Lots and lots of wrinkles. Plastic is so cool. Oh, I actually like what it did on the plastic better. Let's put that on that first print. You see what I'm doing over here, I hope? I'm using my phone again because I'm having trouble downloading from my camcorder. Oh, look at that. That is pretty cool. That's a nice little background. Let's try pulling up some more of it off of here. And maybe put it on this one, just lightly. Oh, I like that. Look at that. That's without even using any stencils yet. All right, now what we're going to do is go in, maybe with the aluminum foil. Get a little bit more of it up. And then we'll go over it with another color. Let's go Yaha and go over it with yellow. And I'm going to put down the tissue just a little bit. It should be fairly dry. Just get a little of it up so that I don't end up with one big red mess. Ah, too much. How to make a bad day worse? Use too much paint. God, I love that color. This is the new color that I got from Ateza. It's Indian yellow. Oh, I love it. It is so rich. Now, let's grab one of our stencils. Let's use the number one. Do it backwards and put it on this one. I'm not using a tissue because, well, let me use a tissue. I'll get as much as I can, I guess. So what happened with my printer today? I had some handmade, it's tissue, it's kind of tissue paper, almost tissue paper. Thicker than tissue paper, but it has a plasticky feel to it. And I was going to print on that. I was doing printing from magazines. I was copying them in my laser printer and then using that to print on backgrounds. Oh, how nice. But I messed up which I had in which hand. One hand had the copy paper to put in the machine. The other hand had the paper I was supposed to bring to the table to print on. And I kind of got confused into which was which. And I ended up, of course, putting the wrong paper into the copy machine. So since it was set to print with regular paper, and I doubt it would even print with that paper, it jammed up so bad, and everybody's telling me just get some pliers, and there was nowhere you could see the paper. I even called the Geek Squad, and they told me it would be cheaper to just get another printer, because that was jammed up so far in there they would have to take the whole machine apart. I took apart everything that I could because I figured that's pretty. At this point, it's a lost cause anyways. And I got the screwdriver out and took everything apart that I could take apart. And Nothing. Nothing. I couldn't see anything. I had it all apart, but a little like almost box in the back that I couldn't find any screws to get to. There were no more screws that you could see to take out of the machine. It was awful. But that's what happens when you're not paying attention. And of course, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I was worried about this and worried about that. Okay, we're going to put this net on and just take some of it off. We'll use this one right here. And that'll leave, hopefully, something interesting on. I'll just gently go where there's no net so that some of it will be left. Oh no, that's pretty. I like that. We'll keep that as is. These will be book pages probably. Now I'm going to go over the top with this just to add a little more interest before I pull the rest of it up. Hopefully it added interest there where the net wasn't. And I'm just going to pull this up and then we'll put something on top of it. That is pretty. Interesting. Let's go with some greens. This is kind of a military green, and having been in the military, I love this color. It's called olive green. It's Arteza. It's one of my new ones. I only bought, and the thing is, I bought them because the ones that I bought was supposed to be in the pouches. And I thought, I want to try that because it's so hard to store these things. If you don't open the top or you don't get anything on it, then you can stand them up, but they fall over so easy. And I have a shelf up there that's got metal grate, so I can put them in like this, but they still fall over too easy. And there's no good way to store those unless it's in a box or something, and then it's a jumble. So I wanted to try, all right, we'll try this thing right here, this little scrubby thing. We'll do the right side in that, and then the other side in something else. I don't know if it's even doing anything. Oh, but it'll stamp nicely. In the end, is little, see, this is little dots and that's little lines. So if I want to use it to stamp, it'll be nice. And then let's do some wax paper, because that does something totally different too. Alright, now we're going to pull that. We'll pull it on its own. There's enough paint on there to do the whole page. And then we'll take what's left, if there's anything left, and put it onto that last one we did. Oh, look at that. That is nice. And this is what wax paper does. Isn't that nice? Wow. So, household objects. And let's take this and see if we can get the rest of that information up on this sheet. It might be a little bit too dry, but it's warm out here today. But if I turn the air conditioner on, all you're going to hear is the air conditioner. And that's no fun. Oh, look at that. I like that. I'm not utilizing the stencils much because I'm getting what I want with the household objects. Let's go crazy and go pink and blue. A little pink there. And this is Liquitex Basic Turquoise Blue. Getting it open is going to be the hard part because I left it open last time. I really wish there was a better system to I used to use the craft paints because I like the way that it's easier to store those bottles. But I think this heavier body stuff, it's got more body, it's got more pigment. It just works better. Oops, too much green still on there. But we'll get it off. Let's get as much of the blue off as I can before I head into the pink. I think I'm going to want to give it a really good mixing. There we go. That looks good. Now, is there anything I haven't done yet from the household stuff? I don't think so, but I really like that wax paper. Let's give it another go. And even if it deposits some of that green, it's not going to be that bad. No, I don't know if that deposited that or pulled it up, but I like that. I'm just going to pull that straight off. Now look at that. That is so pretty. So tropical looking. These are going to be great in collage, or I keep thinking they're going to be book pages, but I don't think so. Didn't I pull a yellow down? We should pull a yellow down. Okay. Let's do some bubble on it. Let's do the popped bubble. Every once in a while, like right here, I can feel that that bubble's not popped. Wish I had a pin here to poke it with, but I don't. Do I? I should have an X-Acto knife. Aha! Where is that unpopped bubble? Is that the only one? Well, that's the only one on this section. Pull that up. I'm really not liking that at all. I get my head under the camera again. Oh, let's put some of this on it. Some turquoise. So you can bury the stuff I don't like. Yep, I do need a new 5x7. I am definitely going to spend one day just reviving that glob of gel that I have, where I made homemade gel prints. And when I got done, since I made them for a class and didn't need them anymore, didn't really have the space to store a stack of 5x7s, I just broke it all up and put it in a plastic baggie, and it's been sitting in the cupboard ever since. So I really need to pull that out, get out my double boiler, melt me down a 5x7. Maybe even a really big one, because I've got a really big one. I haven't looked at it in a while. It's up on top of my refrigerator. Well, that's not very good, but we'll come back over that with something else. Oh, did I show it to you? Now, see? Nah. Let's go bright. Go bright or go home. I'm going to go bright, since I already am home. Oh, today. Terrible day. Like I said, I couldn't get my videos to download. I've been doing them on the camcorder instead of the phone. And taking the SD card out, because when I hook it up to my computer, it says nothing. It says that there's something hooked to my computer, but when you click on it, it won't let you open it. So what good is that? That does me no good at all. I mean, if you're going to tell me something's there, open it for me. So it does recognize that there is something plugged into the computer. It's an external device, but it doesn't recognize what that external device is. I can't find drivers. I thought, well, maybe I needed to download some drivers. Yeah, that didn't work. Couldn't find any. It says my drivers are all up to date. And yet, that'll be nice over something. And yet it will not recognize. You know, I might want to find a piece of tissue over here and pull it, get up my paper towel and really pull that up. See how much difference it makes? A paper towel will pull it all up if you really. Let's see. There you go. Now I got 2 prints out of that by using some muscle power. Let's see what we get on here. Got to get some more paper because I'm not done with my frustration yet. Oh, I like that. I might just leave that as is. That is adorable. Just enough yellow so it's not boring. Okay. See what we got done so far. There's a few. Let's do some little things to them. Let's do some blues. Pardon my reach again. I've got to get this blue. I need some vibrant blue. Do some circles. Just the front. Oh. Pull up that blue. Pull it up again. This time with tissue. Can't get all of it. At least most of it. There we go. That's hideous. And maybe a little bit of the impression of it on this. Just a little. Oh, there's quite a bit left. Oh, that's nice. Just a little accent. There's a couple of them that I like as is. I don't want to do anything much to. This one can, the blue against the orange should be great. Or maybe not. Well, just ruined that one. Do that a lot though. I think we'll leave that one as is. And that one, and that one. Let's do this one. I have to say I was extremely pleased with the way the wax paper does. Oh, I like that. Left just enough so it didn't totally block out the numbers. I like that. And I might do just what the tiny bit that's left over this one, since I like the way it is, but it wouldn't hurt to have another color in it. See, just a little bit of blue here and there. I like that. What can we do with this? Nothing other than yellow, I think, is going to help it. Well, I guess I didn't clean my brayer, so it's not going to be very yellow. Not going to be much, but what doesn't already have that? Let's try again. Let's just leave it like that. And let's do this. I might not do anything, but you never know till you try. Oh, jelly printing is my way to soothe my nerves. Everything's going wrong. Oh, that is hideous. That's a throwaway. I don't often throw them away, but that's bad. Maybe on a clean sheet that I've been cutting pieces out of. All right. Well, I think this is the end. I think I am soothed. A little jelly print play session kind of soothed my nerves, which is why I do this. Okay, so we'll go through what we got. All right, let's start with Hideous. That's a trash one. I should have cleaned, if I had cleaned my brayer in between, like really cleaned it, the yellow would have shown up a lot more. But that's not a keeper. This one, I would have to say that's a keeper. I like that. Especially like what's going on up in there. Hopefully these will go in. This is growing on me. I didn't like it as much when I first pulled it, but I might come back with some orange up in here too. I like that way that looks now. This is my not really a keeper. That and the not really keeper pile. Now this one came out nice. I like this. And I would leave that just the way it is. Because I could see how if I were making, say, a flower or something in collage, how these would look nice for petals. Just with the varied yellow in them. Very nice. Yeah, I like it. I like this area up in here. I don't know if you can see that very well. This area. This down here I'm not fond of, but this with that wax paper left a wonderful effect. And this one too. I think wax paper is a winner. I used to use, they call it cling foil, I think, in England, but saran wrap is what I call it. And I used to use that, but that looks better than that. Even looks better than that did. I really like that. I would have used some of that today, but I didn't have any. I didn't use the that shell paper only once because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. But that's just using household items and 3 stencils. And hopefully tomorrow I can get a video. I've got some dollar store stencils, and I'm curious to see what kind of creations I can do with just dollar store stencils. I might use these household objects again and dollar store stencils. Well, one thing I didn't use, I brought this out. There's about a pack of these comes for $1 at the dollar store, and I have been using them over and over again because you get different size lines for your, it really does some nice stuff. But thank you very much for bearing with me on my gel printing play session. I know it was short, but I just needed it. Nothing went right today. Nothing went right today. So this makes me feel better. This is what I do when nothing goes right. Thank you very much. Please like, please subscribe, and please ask any questions. If there's anything, ask me questions. This is so much fun to do, and I encourage everybody to get them. So even just a little plate like this, you can spend hours and hours. You don't need the big, I don't know how much the big ones are now, $80 plate or whatever. These little ones are just as much fun. And you can fill a whole plate with smaller sections. I mean, a whole page with smaller sections. You don't need a huge one. To start out, I would get the 5x7. I mean, or the 12x12 if you can afford that. That's a nice one too. But just get one. Have fun. You can use the cheap paints. You don't need the expensive paint. I mean, Liquitex Basics are, as far as paints go, are not that expensive. But you can use the cheap craft paints that you can get at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I mean, you don't need to use this kind of paint. I just like the way it takes to the plate. These brayers are not that expensive. Look at Hobby Lobby. They're you can find them fairly cheap. Look at Michael's. Look at Amazon. I'm not getting any money from this. Just for very little investment, you can have fun with this. One small plate, a brayer. I'll actually check and see how much it would be. But a brayer, a small plate, and basically for paints, starting out, you need a red, you need a blue, you need a yellow, a black, and a white. And that way you'll learn to mix colors. And I took a course in college, because I have an art degree. I took a course in college on mixing colors. You should learn. And this would be a great way to learn how to mix the colors to get what you want. So basic, small investment, and you can do this. And like I said, I use the dollar store paper. It's the drawing pad, 30 for $1. As you can see, I cut them in half, so that's actually 60 for the 5x7. For $1, that's not bad. But you can use computer paper. Go to the thrift store. They always have paper there. Packages of, and you can use line paper. You can use old book paper. You can use anything just to learn. I mean, so thank you very much for viewing. I hope I inspired somebody to have fun, because this is great stress relief. I was really stressed out when I came out here. I feel much better now. Thank you very much.